You know that feeling, right? As a leader, you've got this perfect plan, an amazing team, but then somehow things just start to drift. Keeping projects and people on track has got to be one of the toughest parts of the job. Well, that's exactly what we're going to dig into today, a framework that's all about getting things back on course.
So let's just start right there. Think about it. When you see those first little warning signs, a deadline gets pushed, the budget starts to inflate, maybe the team's energy just feels a little off. What's your go-to move? That very first response is so critical. It can be the difference between a minor tweak and, well, a full-blown crisis.
Okay, so here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we're going to define what we even mean by a strategic controller. Then we'll get into the two absolute core skills, giving great feedback and taking decisive action. And to wrap it all up, we'll look at the tools that connect those two pieces.
So, first up, what is the purpose of being a strategic controller? The whole idea here is to move away from that frantic, reactive problem-solving panic and shift into a state of calm, collected, strategic poise.
So, what does it actually mean to be a strategic controller? Let's be clear, this is not about being a control freak, not at all. It's about a leader who's really skilled in what's called the controlling stage of a project, that phase where you're monitoring how things are going and making adjustments. It's all about using the right tools to stay effective for the long haul.
And here's the so what. The real goal isn't just about fixing one project that's gone off the rails. It's about building a sustainable way of leading, a system that helps you and your team succeed again and again.
Okay, so how do we start building that system? It all begins with mastering constructive feedback. I want you to think of feedback as the essential input. It's the data that fuels this whole entire process.
And this breaks it down so perfectly. On one side, you've got feedback. That's your input. It's the what, the raw data, the observation of what's happening. And on the other side, corrective action. That's your output. It's the now what, the decision you make, the intervention you stage based on that input.
The big takeaway here is pretty simple. Your output can only ever be as good as your input. I mean, you can't make smart, effective decisions if you don't really know what's going on, right? That's why providing clear, honest feedback is the absolute foundational skill here. Everything else is built on top of it.
And that brings us right to the other side of the coin, taking corrective action. You've got the input, now it's time for that decisive output.
This is really where the rubber meets the road. It's the active, hands-on part of being a leader. Once you have that data from your feedback, corrective action is how you grab the wheel and actively steer the ship back towards its destination. It's about making a conscious choice to get things back in alignment. So, you see a problem, you know you need to act, but how do you know what the right action is? That requires a crucial step in the middle, the analysis toolkit. This is the bridge that connects your input, the feedback, to your output, the action.
And this is where the magic happens. These analysis tools are the engine that turns that raw feedback into genuine understanding. They help you get past the surface level symptoms to find out what's really going on, the root cause. From there, you can start generating real solutions and turn a fuzzy problem into a concrete plan of attack.
So when you put it all together, you get this incredibly powerful but simple loop. This is the operating system for a strategic controller. Step 1, you gather your input by providing feedback. Step 2, you make sense of it all with your analysis tools. And step 3, you create your output with decisive action. Feedback, analyze, act. It's that simple.
And this quote from the source material just nails it. It's not about choosing one skill or the other. It's the combination that's so powerful. Providing feedback and taking corrective action together are the absolute most essential skills when you're trying to guide a project to the finish line.
At the end of the day, this is all about creating a repeatable process for success. When you master this loop of feedback, analysis, and action, that's what elevates you from just being a manager to being a truly strategic leader. And that is the key to sustainable, long-term effectiveness.
So I want to leave you with a question you can take back to your team, maybe even today. Thinking about everything that's going on, what is the one corrective action that would make the biggest positive impact right now? Thanks for joining us for this explainer.